All right. Well, hey, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well and staying healthy in these crazy times with COVID and that. For those that don't know me, I am Yannick, the drummer of Gone in April. So we're super excited to have some time with our fans today. So often in the past, we get requests for interviews. And at one point we were talking, we said we should turn things around and interview our fans instead of us being interviewed, and we thought it'd be cool to get to know a little bit more about them, learn what makes them tick, and rather than us being in the hot seat and getting the questions all the time. So we had a poster on Facebook and Instagram a few weeks ago, and we said whoever's interested, just send us your name, and we'll randomly select 5 fans for the interview. And here we are today. So with us from Gone in April today, we have Julie, we have Marc-André, and we have Steve. Wait, where's Steve? All right, very good. So I'll hand it over to Julie.
Okay, so let's start with our fans that are present right here. Thank you guys again for being here. That's super exciting for us to see you and to have so many of you also who are watching, who submitted and were ready to be on the hot seat, like Yannick was saying. So let's start. I will ask you guys to introduce yourself. So I would like to know just a little bit about you. So where you're from, so where you're from and what's your name, and also tell me a little bit like how you got into metal. So let's start with Zachary.
Hi, so I'm Zach. I'm currently living in Atlanta, Georgia, although I go to school up in Washington, D.C. My metal really started with my musical thing started with listening to classic rock when I was really young. And then once I hit about 11, I started just scavenging around YouTube and listening to different forms of music. And I kind of started listening to metal, and then I really started going to a lot of concerts. And from there, it was just, I guess, a love at first sight sort of thing. I've been listening to metal for 10 years now, and it's amazing. It helps me feel like connected to the world in a place where I'm really just a single person. And I'm really, really happy that I've found it the way I did. It also helped me get into being a drummer and starting my own band, which I'm really happy about as well.
Oh yeah, not a drummer. That's awesome. Okay, and what did you say you do in life?
Currently, I'm a full-time student at American University. I work for our school's basketball team as well as a bunch of other teams. And then on the side, I write music, I write acoustic stuff, and then I'm working on doing session work and starting my own band, as I said.
Very nice. Merdad, your turn. Do I pronounce your name right? I am so sorry if I butcher your name. My name is butchered all the time, so
I
hope I'm not doing that.
That's okay. Yes, that's okay. It's Merdad, actually. Yes, my name is Merdad Movassari. I'm from Iran, Shiraz, the city which may know by the Shiraz wine, actually, because we have many grapes here and so on. I'm 37. I'm married with 1 daughter, and about 20 years ago I've just started metal, with listening to a bunch of metal things, and due to very strict rules in Iran, which they equal metals to Satanism, and you can't do metal, you can't hear to metal. It's not so bad that I say, but about 15 years ago we had an underground concert that we covered some songs from other groups. And we were so lucky that they didn't cut, because 2 months after that, another group just got an underground concert. The police and the other stuff just got them. They went to jail, and they had very bad things, because they say that it's a Satanist music and others, so it's not allowed. That's why we have no concerts here. Sometimes I went to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, for some concerts, for some groups or some festivals. And I start, with little metals, rock, and then I get to the band. And by the way, I play bass guitar, actually, with the master. Yeah. Steve, you were one of my reasons. You were one of the reasons that I just bought the bass guitar, because yes, you were my idol actually. And we had the band, we had some songs cover, and the band leader, he introduced me to the death metal groups, to the industrial metal groups, to the progressive metals, and he told me that the metal thing, that the song is valuable when you can't cover it, when it's so hard, you had so many techniques that you can't cover it. So that's good song. That's why I just hop into the death metal music. And currently I'm not just playing so hard, I'm just busy with life, with my works. I have a factory producing some stuff for oil industries, and I just listen to my cars when going to factory or coming back. It's a 1 hour driving, so that's the best time to relax and to listen to metals. And when the music is death metal, when it's so deathy, it's so like the songs you just make, that just calms me down, and it's some kind of relaxing for me. It's relaxing, especially the bass players. Every time I just hear the basses, those fretless basses, man, that's awesome.
Well, that's awesome to hear,
And
and
that's it.
that that it makes you feel better and calms you down. I guess
Yes,
especially in traffic. I don't know for you guys, but I kind of hate traffic, so I just blast the music when I'm in
exactly,
there. So you probably do the same.
exactly.
Let's
Yes,
go with
yes.
Amélie.
So my name is Emily. I live in Montreal, Laval, and I started listening to metal because of my big brother. I started listening to Evan Sevenfold with the Nightmare, and I was intrigued by that. And then I don't know, I just love it, and I listen to Slipknot and Sabaton. I don't really know how. It is really because of my big brother. So I don't know, and I love listening to that, and I love playing some metal around people that don't know me because they think I'm listening to pop music, and it's really funny for me. So that's it.
I totally get that. Before the blue hair, nobody thought I would be a metal girl, and the little violin player and classical. So that I get that. It was kind of funny. So you can
Yeah,
always
yeah.
surprise people. Okay, we're gonna go with Fernando.
Hi there, Fernando. I'm originally from Brazil. I moved to US in 2001. Um, my background is really more like a punk rock, Brazilian rock, some psychobilly, the stand-up bass and that kind of things. Like I love that kind of music, but probably on the late 90s, I started enjoying metal, mainly with the old bands like Saxon, and I love that band, and started listening more and more. Um, when in Brazil, normally I had to travel about like to Sao Paulo to go to big concerts. Not a lot of concerts in my city, even if it's a big city, Curitiba, and it's about 2 million people there, but had to travel a lot. And after I came to US, then all my money went to concerts and concerts. I go to concerts probably once or twice a week. That's my fuel. And I like women singing in heavy metal bands. All the started with Nightwish for sure. Nightwish did, like their three lead singers. And when I started, but really, I will be honest, I didn't know Gone in April until a couple of years ago. Went to a concert. Just that was the Illuviat concert. Was just amazing. Knew, of course, Mr. DeGiorgio. Went also to it's hiding behind that window there. So went to the Brotherhood of the Snake tour, had a blast. So that's kind of my background on metal, and how I like a lot of music, a lot of type of music. I know that you guys are in Tennessee, kind of not my cup of tea, the country music, but besides that, I like everything else.
That's awesome. I'm kind of wondering now. You must be pretty. You must be having more money since you don't go to concerts twice a week. You know.
There were some savings. I can tell you
For
that.
next
Yeah,
year, right?
yeah, we are happy here. Some savings.
There must be some good things about this pandemic, right? We have to find them. Let's go with Eric.
Hi, my name is Eric. I'm 38 years old. I'm from the beautiful La Gaspésie, where I think, near you guys, your hometown, right? And I started off, my uncle introduced me to Iron Maiden when I was 10 years old. And then he used to make, way back when we used to have mixtapes, starting to sound old, but yeah. And then it went from there. Then we went up from mixtapes to CDs, right? MP3s. And so did the music. And then I became a drummer first, where I was a punk drummer, more of a punk drummer. And then we wanted to play metal as a band. And we found one of my buddies, he started playing drums on cardboard boxes because his parents couldn't afford a drum set. So he made his own. And the cover from a fan, that was his cymbals. And he was amazing. So then he got a drum set from his father. And still to this day, he's our drummer now, because we still got a band going now. And he's an amazing drummer. So when I seen him kind of go at it, I just, nope, I can't keep up to that. So I dropped the sticks and pick up the mic and learn how to scream like the best of them.
Very nice. Okay, so, well, I'm going to go ahead and start interviewing one of our fans and put the spotlight on Fernando. I hope I said that right. Was that a good accent?
Yep, that's with a good accent, a good French accent.
French accent? Oh, merde. I was trying to use all that opera training with diction,
Yeah, we can do in Portuguese if you want, but.
Oh, okay, so tell me, what do you look for in your metal? What is the thing that you really listen for? What is the thing that makes you say, this is a good song, this is a good band? What do you like to hear? So you mentioned you like sometimes female voices, but you also said, you like rockabilly as well. So you like a ton of different genres. So what makes you like really click on a song? What makes you really say, this is really good and really get into it?
I know that I said the voice that's my number 2 thing in a band. The number 1, it's in Brazil we have the kitchen. The kitchen is where everything is made, and that's the bass and the drums. I play the bass. I have a drum set, not as good, but the kitchen is what makes me enjoy a band, and seeing Steven and Yannick playing, it's just amazing. And that's what really caught my attention. And I started listening to the CDs, and oh my gosh, that fretless bass, Steve, you're a killer, man. You know that. And that double drums, and that's what I look in a band. If that is good, then we go to the voice.
No pressure,
Sorry about the guitar. There are people that love the guitar. That's what they come to see. It. I'm the opposite, and I like to stay. Sometimes Steve is pretty active. I used to play the bass in a band, so I was more like the bass as the quiet guy. Had long hair, so hair in front of me, just playing, looking. Let the vocal and the guitar be the stars. We are just doing the making this happen. So that's what I look in a band, is the kitchen.
I love that term. I'm totally reusing this later.
Yeah, we use a lot in Brazil.
I wouldn't say that our bassist is quiet. I don't know.
Yeah, he can. Yeah,
but he definitely has that magic that he can blend with anything he plays. So really skilled to really. Sorry, I'm thinking in French again. To get married to the music. That's a direct translation. So.
I think it's the presence on the stage. So yeah, Steve is amazing.
Okay, a funny one here. What's your favorite movie and why?
Favorite movie and why? 12 Monkeys. That is one of my favorite movies. I enjoy I enjoy a lot of movies that mix, that you'll go back in time and that kind of thing. So 12 Monkeys, The Looper, just just watch it again for probably the third time. That kind of movies are what I like a lot, and 12 Monkeys is probably one of my top three.
Make me feel bad. I haven't seen 12 Monkeys. Now I really need to find
Now
it.
you should. Yeah.
Okay. You told me also that you have, I think, 3 daughters, right?
3 daughters. Yep.
So you're totally outnumbered.
Outnumbered at home, yes, even with the dog. But now we have a male dog. That's good.
Does it really make a difference, actually?
Yeah. We had to.
Okay, so
really, the older one passed away, so we replaced and we got a new one is a male.
Well, I'm sorry that you lost.
Yeah, that's okay.
So I have a question about that. So are your daughters into metal? Did you convert them?
Mom is more like a pop music, in American pop music, some Brazilian. I'm trying. I've been trying really hard, and I watch a lot of videos with them. It's funny that you have the blue hair, and I watch a lot some of the Arch Enemy, and then they are watching. Oh, which one is the blue hair now? Is the one that yells or the one that sings nice? And it's kind of nice to see them. They're pretty young. It's 13, 8, and 4. I started a little bit late. I'm 48, and they like, and they kind of know a lot of the songs because I listen in the car, but they are more like into the pop music.
It will come. It will come.
It will come. I hope so too. I have a lot of hope with my 80-year-old.
Sounds awesome. Okay, so also I was wondering which platform you use to stream music. Do you prefer to use like Spotify, to use YouTube, or what do you use?
Use Spotify. I have Spotify like a lot. That's what I use, and that's what I pay. YouTube I use a lot for videos, and I love videos. I hope we talk about your videos, locations. I think you guys did great mainly for the Shards of Light videos. Those locations are insane. And then I kind of found out that Yannick is kind of behind that a little bit also. So kudos to you, man. That is amazing. So that's kind of what I use normally, those two platforms for music. And I buy CDs, and I'm old school. I still have like probably 1,000 long plays of the big ones at home back in Brazil. I have a bunch of CDs here, but now it's changing. So
yeah, you're talking about CDs, and to me, I always love having a physical copy.
Yeah.
Like everybody's I love the streaming too, and I think it's half and half for the streaming. So sometimes it's good for the artist, but because you're out there and it's way more accessible, doesn't pay great. So I think there's still so some improvements to be made. But I think at least it really gives a chance to listen to an album before you buy it. So that I really like. You don't have to go to the store and like sit there with the headphones and listen to it before you buy it. You can do it from home. And then I think it probably gives a few people the chance to even discover more bands and everything. So I totally like that. But I'm like you, I do have a ton of CDs. I really like having the whole artwork that comes with it, and the lyrics, and just have a book in my hands. Yeah, the little book.
Oh yeah, I feel a little bit for the younger, probably not in this group, I don't know, but for the younger ones, just the experience to go to that long play, the black ones, I'm talking about those, go to the store, start looking at taking it home, opening, reading the lyrics there, and that experience, it's something amazing. And I know that a lot of people don't have anymore, kind of coming back a little bit, but that experience is what made my teenager years. All my allowance went to long plays. So it's pretty cool.
I have one last question for you.
Okay.
So if you could go to any festival in the world, where would you go? Which festival would you attend?
I would say I would go to Germany, and I would go to the several metal that they have there. I would like to spend like 30 days there just going to concerts and mainly Europe. They have a pretty good stuff there. That nothing specific, but tours, going there, spend from 8 o'clock in the morning and to the several stages. I have done that a lot, and I miss that a lot.
You wake up with some metal then. You say 8
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Way to start
yeah.
the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will pass the mic to, who's next? I think Marc-André. Your turn. Thank you so much, Fernando.
Okay. I just got an idea for a question, so I'm gonna take a note of it. But first, I was told that, Eric, that you're in a band, so why don't you start by telling us what's the name of your band, what kind of music you're doing, what's the essence of your band?
Well, our band, we started off, it's the same crew. I started off as way back, I was maybe 13, 14 years old. And that band went for maybe 8 years. And then we had a falling out for about, 6 to 8 years. And that band was called Moonlight Murder. Being a teenager, right? You're looking for the aggression and the head turner, right? The name that turns the heads, that sticks out. Then we lost each other. And then we kind of come back. The last maybe 2 years, we come back, the same crew again, all from my hometown. And now the name of the band is Conjure the Oath. And it's more of a progressive metal, but the boys are the ones that write the music. They're trying to hit anything and everything, pretty much. They're very talented, so they can do it.
Okay, and that's the band that you sing it.
Yes, I sing in this band, and I sang in the previous band too, because I was outspeeded and out-talented by a friend. So I lost my spot and had to find another one pretty quick.
Okay. Okay, next questions. I heard you talking about mixtapes, and it just took me back to the old days when we used tape to learn songs, and that was like total hell. But questions on tapes. What songs were on your favorite mixtape?
Oh my God. Well, my uncle was into I had two uncles. One was actually a DJ. He played 70s and 80s classic rock on a radio. And I had another one. He was more into the hair metal and, but it all started with Maiden, Sabbath, Ozzy. Then you had the Kiss, skip over the disco years. It just Nazareth. I just went with whatever he put on the tape. Cooper, of course, Cooper was a big one.
Okay, so don't know any particular mixtape that you were fond of or that you remember more than any other the others?
Oh yes, for sure. The first one that my uncle had, that's what it was. It was Maiden. It was that's the one that was Skid Row. It was although Iced Earth even come up at one point, but that wasn't on that tape. But of course Metallica was on there, Megadeth, and he passed away unfortunately about 10 years ago. So I found that tape. So now that tape is just kind of put away in a vault, and it'll probably stay there. Prehistoric evidence.
Okay, nice. Okay, cool. I don't. One thing I have on my mind with the virus and all. I started like getting more in shape because I was at home. I started training at home. So I'm wondering, did you did all of that change the way that you keep in good shape? Do you have do you have something that you do to keep in shape? Did you change that because of the virus?
Well, when the virus hit, I'm a nurse, so that did not change for me. If anything, I worked even harder, right? And but of course, I was even pre-COVID. I would go to the gym all the time and stuff, and that all shut down. So I would just go more into nature side. And one of my buddies had come up with one of these Facebook challenges. It was a 25 push-ups for 25 days challenge. And I said, well, here we go. I'll take any challenge that helps me keep in shape like that, just to keep in shape.
Yeah, cool. So aside from that particular challenge, were there any other that you took up?
Not really. I picked up a lot of gaming with my 7-year-old boy.
Cool. Any favorite games?
Oh my God. Right now I'm playing a lot of his games. I play a lot of NHL. NHL 1, 2, 3, 2010, 2020. I get on the PlayStation and play with one of my friends down home. I'll get on the PlayStation around 9 o'clock at night and play hockey till about 4 in the morning.
Hey, cool. Cool. So maybe one last question. We talked about the mixtape, but now these days, are you more of the CD type, the MP3 type, or the streaming type?
I use Spotify because, like Julie said a while ago, it's just very accessible, right? It's in your hand. Your whole world's in your hand with technology now. So I use that a lot. But when there's bands that I really, really like, I buy CDs. Because as a band, which I do it for fun, right, which we all do, I know how it is to kind of support each other, especially in small community music. And so when there's physical CDs, I buy them for sure, just to support the artist.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so I believe it's my turn now, right? Is that it? With Zachary. Hey.
All right.
All right, there we go. All right. So I guess Julie asked what got you into metal, and you talked a little bit about that. So what do you look for in a metal band? And you mentioned that you play drums. You had mentioned other instruments and that. So I'd like to hear a little bit about that.
So the one thing when people ask me what kind of music I listen to, I say metal, and I will listen to any form of metal. I don't necessarily think there's one instrument or one specific feature that always gets me. A lot of it depends on the genre. So, if I'm listening to a deathcore, a mean breakdown or heavy blast beats will be really cool. And maybe if I'm listening to like a progressive metal, similar to like a Seventh Wonder, the bass or the drums, it really just depends on the style. I can usually tell after 1 to 2 songs of an artist, do I think, am I going to like them, or am I going to think they're not that great? And then from there, I start exploring and seeing what artists I like and finding similar artists and just going from there. And also, a lot of, whether that be a lot of my older friends or people who I've met at festivals or shows that I've gone to, will introduce me to new bands that people will think I'll like, and I'll just go from there and see how I like it.
Yeah, that's cool. One thing I noticed a few minutes ago when Eric was talking, he mentioned gaming and NHL, and I saw your reaction, and you look like, yes, yeah, right. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I play a lot of, as Eric said, I play a lot of NHL. I play a lot of FIFA. I play 2K, MLB, all the sports games. I always love playing them. And once quarantine happened, as I said, I'm a full-time student, and we're all online, so I'm back home, which has given me the opportunity to play a lot more, to do a lot more gaming. I have gotten really focused on playing NHL. I'm on a league team. I play with my friends. That has just become like a huge, huge part of my life nowadays.
Cool. And what is it that you study?
I am a business administration with a specialization in sports. And then I was going to do a specialization in music theater. However, due to basically all the venues I like starting to shut down, I canned that second thing and switched it to a minor in journalism.
Okay, all right. And hopefully none of your teachers are online listening right now, but what is the percentage of time that you spent studying versus gaming with the NHL stuff?
I spend, I'd say 3 to 4 hours a day probably doing studying. I game 2 to 3 hours a day. A lot of it's just I'm taking easier courses right now, and I'm taking stuff that a lot of the courses I would have taken at this point, I pushed to later years just because I want to have that in-person aspect, and being online kind of hampers my ability to, take in the material as well as I potentially could.
Yeah. Okay. Well, changing subject a bit. So, life is short and it's important to, enjoy it and that. So what makes you tick in terms of like, is it spending a lot of time with family and friends? Of course, not in these times that's not possible. But I mean, usually is it spending time in nature? Is it watching movies or home alone with a book or something? I mean, in non-COVID times, what is it that you enjoy to do, and what makes you happy?
So the things that make me the happiest in life, I love going to shows. I tried to do one show a week generally is what I was doing. And on a college budget, as you would expect, that's not easy. I love going to shows. I love going to sporting events. As I said, I work for my school's basketball team, and just hanging around in the locker room with my team and my other managers, it always puts a smile on my face, when I'm having a bad day, if I didn't do so great on an assignment, or maybe something's gone wrong in the world, I can just know that I could either, go to a game, listen to some music, or hang out with my team and feel that everything just is okay, even when it's not okay. And obviously COVID is destroying the world right now. I love seeing my family, and, the best thing about COVID has been I've been home. I've been able to spend the last few months with my family, who I did not think I was going to get this time. So, that's just a nice benefit in a world that's just completely, to be frank, not so great right now.
Yeah. Okay. And you mentioned hockey. So what's your favorite NHL team?
I am a massive New York Islanders fan. My dad grew up an Islanders fan and has raised me an Islanders fan. And I try and travel to see them because the team in Atlanta moved to Winnipeg. So.
Oh, I guess that's true. I hadn't heard. Yeah, I think I vaguely remember seeing that at one point. So they're in Winnipeg now, right? That's what you're saying.
They moved about 2 years after I moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
So when I see a game, I have to travel Nashville. I have to travel Nashville, or travel to North Carolina, or just maybe if I'm lucky, they'll be in a city I'm happening to randomly visit.
Okay. And was it a similar move like the Quebec Nordiques that I think they went to Colorado, right? The Avalanches. I'm looking for Steve's approval. Was that it? I see him nodding. That was right. Okay. So was that a similar move?
Identical. The Thrashers played in an 18,000 seat arena that's now fully an NBA arena. They averaged like 6,000 a game. Nobody went. Nobody cared. It was so bad. I went to an Islanders Thrashers game, bought tickets for $2 in the top row, and sat next to the benches. So nobody went. Nobody, frankly, cared, and they moved to Winnipeg. Team got sold, and they moved.
Okay. Wow. Well, you have several hockey fans in the Gone in April camp, that's for sure. So yes. Yeah. So okay. Well, very cool. When you watch, TV for like series or movies or stuff like that, like what are some of the series or favorite movies that you've seen? Just because I think someone's favorite movie tells a lot about their personality in that. So I guess that's what I'd like to know.
So when I'm watching TV series, a couple of series that I just finished, The Good Place. I love that show. That was one of my favorite shows. And I am watching The Good Doctor right now. In terms of movies, I really like rom-coms and romance and sports movies. And in terms of just watching TV, as I said, I watch a lot of soccer or football. I watch a lot of sports, and that's what I do. That's my biggest passion. So stuff like that.
Okay. All right, cool. And one last question, very, very important. Name the first thing that comes to mind when I say the following word. All right, you ready?
Okay.
Spilt beer.
For me, mosh pit, because I'm used to getting.
Oh, wow. That is a great answer.
I'm used to getting, if you're in a mosh pit, if my view is if I'm in a mosh pit, if I haven't gotten something spilled on me or I haven't come home slightly sore, it hasn't been worth it.
All right, that is a very good answer. I would have never thought of that answer. That is awesome. All right, cool. All right, well, thanks, Zachary. That was great. I will hand it over to Steve and Murdad.
All right, there we go. Well, first I have a quick question for Eric. Is that okay? What the hell, dude? Vegas, you're in Canada.
Well, confession. I'm actually a Montreal Canadian fan. And I do not own a Montreal Canadian hat or shirt. But this is a great logo.
All right.
That's all.
Fair enough. You know, out here in the West, those are the enemies. So I just had to get to the bottom of that.
Oh, my bad.
No problem.
Oh, when you say it's the enemy, you mean it's the, I guess, the rival of your hockey team. Is that why you're saying that, Steve?
Yeah, that's the definition, Yannick. That's right. Yes, the enemy is a rival. Yes, it's make believe. It's sports, but we can call them enemies.
But it is of your hockey team, that of your favorite hockey team. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, here locally we support San Jose, and there's some good battles between the Sharks and the Knights. All right, so Murdad, howdy.
Hey, man.
So I guess we'll start with the obvious questions. So, do you still play bass?
Well, not so much. No. Unfortunately, not so much. After marriage, having kids, lots and lots of works at factory. No, not so much.
Oh, okay, but so you were before you were an active bass player, and you had a metal band, or did you play different styles?
No, I played 1 year actually for myself, and then get known to one of my friends. He wanted to just make a metal band. He played guitar, and we had the drummer. We had another guitar, and first of all, as usual in Iran, we started to cover the songs from the groups. First, we start with easy songs for Metallica. Then, step by step, our leader just told us that if you want to be a good player, if you want to know the real metal, you have to cover death metals or progressive metals. That's when that we start to cover from Death, Cannibal Corpse, and more hard songs from Metallica. And after that, after 2 years, we just had a concert, underground concert. We just played songs from Metallica, Empty Words from Death, Bleeding from Cannibal Corpse, and many things from Metallica. Yes.
Cool.
Actually, I have two bass. I have a 4-string and 5-string bass. I have a Marshall amp. I just try to save my money to get these things. I just went to the capital of Iran, Tehran, to bought them. I have a preamp and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's pretty difficult to play, not only just to listen to metal music there in your country, but to play it's really hard. So when you go to concerts, you said you travel to like Dubai and stuff like that. So what are some of the concerts you've seen? And like, if you could have a wish list of concerts to see, or which bands do you want to see, who would it be?
Well, actually, the bands that I have played the songs about 9 years ago, Metallica came to Middle East for the first time. It came to Dubai. I went to the concert. I'm by chance row, just front row. I just saw them. I just saw them playing, and they played every song that we have covered. I know every bit of the notes, and that was so nice for me. And here, if you have a wish list, as you said, I love to go to the bands which I listen to, like Gone in April, like the Iron Maiden that I've started with Eric. Just Eric that told that he just a mixtape. I just started with Iron Maiden, yeah, and other bands. Yes, yes. But I don't know if it's right or not. But I have a strict rule for myself for listening to metal. I just listen to the songs which have quality, in music, not just some routine notes or something which has ups and downs. Have it woman like usually as a singer, and very everything. I just known Gunny from your page. I'm following you on Instagram. I just saw that you have just put a video. I searched that, and you know, you may all of you may laugh, but YouTube, Spotify, Zoom, this app, they are all filtered in Iran, and that's why I just came here with difficulties. I have to turn on my VPN, and it's not easy to search, but we have to find our ways. I just download them, put them on my cell phone, on my flash, and just listen on the car. Listen to the cars. I just love that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, huh, that you're up against. But so life there in Iran, like Marc Andre said, like with the virus, how is it affecting work, and how is daily life there? Does it seem to be kind of like a ghost town around Shiraz, or are people going about business normal?
No, well, I wish it was like a ghost town. We have so many problems. The news just announced that they may shut down the whole country for 2 weeks, and it's getting worse and worse. Many of my workers are just getting COVID, despite we just give them masks, we just put them away together, but they got it from outside. They can't come to work. We have so many problems at factory, but it's like other places. But no, it's not so good in Iran. No, no.
But so you're going to work pretty normal, like every day. Your routine hasn't changed too much. You're not stuck at home.
Yes, yes, I have to go work because I have to manage them. And you may see the mask trace on my shirt here. I have to wear it all day. And I just give the workers the mask. We just measure the temperature when they want to come to the factory. We just clean the places after they go. We just, and everything we can. But the show must go on. We have to do that. We have so many orders to make.
And you said you have kids, right? You have a daughter or something?
Yes, she's almost 3. Yes, and sometimes that she sees I'm listening to metal, she say, "What is it, Daddy?" And I say, "It's metal," and then I start to headbang to, get her into the metal, and then sometimes she, thick her voice, something like that, and try to, yesterday she just sang. Old MacDonald had a farm with a metal voice. Old MacDonald had a farm, something like that. And I just got, wow, why you're doing that? And that's when what my wife told me that this is the most wrong thing you're doing to our daughter. And I just told her that this is the best thing her dad could give her.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously, like, and not even, I mean, you look close to our age, so we're not necessarily the younger generation, but we are the generation that came after the kind of religious takeover oppression. So is this the pattern there? Are parents like you're, even though the law forbids kind of metal and all this Satan bull crap, I mean, are you going ahead and raising your kids this way, to enjoy metal and hopefully steer the country, the future leaders, they say, is this the way it's going? Or most of the people, I don't want to say it the wrong way, but are they trying to set the place right after so long of oppression?
Yes, that's exactly what you're saying. Well, I just, I'm a metal fan. My daughter doesn't have to be a metal fan, but I just introduced it to her, and maybe she like it, maybe she don't. It's all her decision, actually. But my parents always supported me because I was just playing hard in my room when I was living together with them. And then we have underground actually at our home. I just set up the band. We just wants to cover all the walls, not to voice get out. Oh, you have my voice. Yeah.
Sorry, my
Okay,
battery
okay.
is gonna die.
And oh, okay, you're good. And yes, they always supported me. And at the night that we have a concert, they just they were in the car with my sister. They were at the, it was in an alley in out of town. They just they were sitting by the road. If the police comes, they just call to my friends, to just skip away, and so that they were so supportive. That's it.
Ah, that's great. All right, well, cool. Very nice to meet you. And I'll do one last question and then hand it over to the next guy, whoever that is. I think that's you, Yannick. So my last question is, what is your favorite band and why is it Gone in April?
Well, to be honest, my favorite band is Death. You know what I'm saying because you were there, and I just love the music. I just love the techniques, the things that uh, you were doing there, and well, Gone is April is nice because I'm a fan. I'm here. I'm just interviewing, and I'm actually all over. We are big fans.
Let me amend the question. So basically, how it's curious, especially from where you live and how things are strict there. How did you discover Gone in April?
Well, I just told that from you. I was following you at Instagram. I just saw a video of you that you're playing bass in a band. I didn't know the name. I just searched that, and I became a fan. That was so cool. It was you, and maybe if it was only you and a very simple drummer or vocal or a guitar player, I won't be a fan. But when I said that the drum is very nice, the guitar is also awesome, the vocals and the voice are nice, the music are nice, and actually you're moving on the fretless bass up and down, playing the songs. That was awesome. That's everything you want from metal. A very rigid, solid song. Yeah.
Ah, cool. Nice compliments. Thank you very much. And there's one instrument in the band you might not be aware of. Gone in April has the most amazing air bass player in the world, man. It's there he is.
Really?
Yeah, we have fun in the studio.
He's my partner in the trenches.
Awesome.
He's my partner in the trenches. When I'm recording bass, I'm not alone. I have an air bass player right next to me, just getting me through the parts and everything. So it helps a lot.
Actually,
nice.
I wish I could play bass like Steve, but the air bass is the closest I get to it. So, but I enjoy it. All right, cool. Well, thanks, Steve and Murdad. All right, and I am next with Amélie. Hey, all right. All right, so we can hear you clearly. So thanks for joining us today and participating in the interview. So you talked about earlier of where you're from and what got you into metal and that. So what do you look for in a metal band? You mentioned several bands that you mentioned Avenged Sevenfold got you in, and then Slipknot. And obviously those are, at least in my opinion, a different type of sound than the Gone in April sound. So obviously you're open to a lot of different types of metal. So what do you look for in a metal band that makes you think, hey, I love this band, this is really cool?
Well, what I like is the sound. I like the voices. If first I'm hearing a band and I don't really like, example, the instrumental, maybe I'm not gonna like it. But example, Slipknot, at first I was I'm not quite sure, and then I said no, I'm gonna give another try, and I think I listened to Iowa, the first one, and I don't know. I did a conditionnement, du conditionnement. I don't know how to say it in English. I forced myself to like that, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Very good. And you mentioned Sabaton as well. So, like, what kind of other bands and what is it that you really look for? If I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that the vocals is one of the first things that kind of draws you to the band or away from the band. Is that right? It's mostly the vocals that you listen to first?
Yeah, example like Death Stone, I try, but I'm not able to like it. I like the instrumental, but the voice, I gave them a lot of try, but I don't like it. So it's not a band that I will listen mostly.
Okay, so you really like the musicianship in the band, but when there's death metal, growls and that, it's not so much your thing. You prefer metal bands that have, I guess, what would you call that? Melodic vocals? I don't know how you would call that, but
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the band. With me, I'm weird. Either I like it or I don't like it. My boyfriend, I like black metal. He likes certain band, and I don't like them, and it will be my type. So I don't know.
okay, I see. And what was I guess, the last concert that you attended before all this kind of got started?
The last one was Sabaton, and yours before that.
Oh, okay.
So
That was Montreal, right?
yes, with the Eluviti.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
And the Sabaton, I guess that was in Montreal also. Who were they touring
Yes.
with?
Was Sabaton, and I don't really remember.
So you're a fan of Sabaton and not so much the other bands, because you would have remembered, I guess, the other bands. So you were mostly there for Sabaton, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. And you said that you kind of, I guess, did you discover Gone in April because of the Eduvetin Korpiklani tour, or did you know
Yes.
Gone in April before that?
Exactly. I won a contest to go see Eluviti. I won it for my boyfriend because he liked that group, and so I was like, oh well, I'm gonna try, and I won, and I went there, and I love it. Like you, Korpiklani, Eluviti, and now it's on my Spotify list, and I was just listening to If You Join Me on my Google Chromecast before that, and my mother was like, shush, shush, shush. Because she doesn't like metal. She doesn't understand. Oh, I like that. She's like, too much noise, too much noise.
That's when you take the volume and you go up.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. Whoops. Gosh. And so what have you studied in school? I think from what you had mentioned before, you took you were in school and you started working and it transitioned in that. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I study in I don't know if we can translate that in English. It's called psychoeducation. It's like a social worker. So basically, it's a relation help. You go see other people that need help. And example, in school, you can work with children and with people, example, that are HDH, TDAH.
Is that
It depends.
Is that
Well, it depends because you can go work in the Centre Jeunesse. It depends really. It's like a social worker.
okay? Okay. And how much time do you have before you graduate and hopefully start to work in that field in that?
Well, I did one years, and because of the online course, I took a break, and now I'm working full time. So when it's gonna be over, I'm gonna continue my study.
Okay. I guess you must be looking forward to getting back and
Yeah.
working in that field.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Cool. So in terms of like you mentioned that your parents aren't so much into the into metal. I mean, when did you start listening to metal? Was it a long time ago and it just became kind of a little bit difficult because of your I guess your family not so much encouraging you to listen to that, or was it very recent and it's a traumatic experience for your parents right now, or?
Well, example, when I'm listening to Dying Fetus, they don't understand. They don't understand how I like that because their style are more like Adele or something like that.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, because every time I'm working is the same song they're listening. So I'm over it. I'm so done with that. But they're okay, I guess, because I go to a lot of metal concert and they're okay. They hope I don't die, but it's okay. They are good with that.
Well, we hope you don't die too. So, okay. Have you ever gotten injured in a concert? When you say they hope you don't die, did you come home at one point with an injury from like a mosh pit or something? Or
No, because every time I go there, my boyfriend try to protect me when there's the mosh pit. I want to go in there, but every time he's like he protect me, so it's like 50% listening of the show and 50% trying to. No, I don't want Amelie to die.
yeah, no, I know what that's like. I went to a Slayer concert when I think I was 14 years old, and I ended up in the front row. It was general admission, and I had a bruise on my ribs because of getting pushed into the the barricades in the front. So yeah, well, I'm glad you haven't gotten injured. Then that's good. So when you watch movies or TV series and stuff like that, like what's the kind of stuff that you like to watch? You know, is it more kind of like comedies or horrors or stuff like that? Like, what is it that you enjoy?
A lot. I love watching comedy, romantic movie. I love a thriller, and I love stuff with a killer inside. I don't like horror movie, but example, a movie about Ted Bundy, I don't mind. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know. I just don't know. I think it's interesting, but when I listen to a horror movie and I know it's not real, I'm scared. Like I was scared of Pennywise.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that movie. I don't know if others on the call have seen it, but I haven't seen that. So I see Eric shaking his head. It looks like he approves of that movie. Yeah, gosh. Were you born in Quebec or were you born elsewhere?
I was born in Quebec, but I was adopted here, but my real parents come from India.
Oh, okay. And have you ever visited India?
No, but I wish I could.
Okay. So if you had a place in the world, anywhere in the world that you could visit, would it be India, or is there another country that you're very curious about that you would love to visit?
Maybe Europe in general, because I love history, and I did 2 years in a CEGEP of that. So I love the history of Europe, England and France. I love that. But maybe India, just to go see where my roots are. But it's not a country I want to go there immediately, but it can wait.
Okay. I've been to India twice, and I've really loved it. Actually, gone in April. Had a show there in 2012 where we played with children of Bodom. That was a very cool experience. I went back recently also, but yeah, I love the country, the culture, the people there. It's very cool. So I hope you get to visit one day. Then that would be nice. Yeah.
I hope to.
Yeah, well, neat. So I think that's the questions that I have for Amélie. Thanks again for joining today. I will hand it back to Julie.
Well, I have one question for everybody. So I'm going to start with Eric. So what are you going to do once this pandemic is over? What is the one thing you can't wait to do?
Go to the first concert that pops up.
The first one?
Anyone. I don't care. It could be anything. It could be Backstreet Boys. I'm going.
That's awesome. Very nice. And you, Fernando?
I would say the same, concert, and I have some tickets from last year that they were postponed for this year. I hope they can make. Rammstein is playing, and I have tickets, and I hope that I can make it.
Amélie, what about you?
Oh, same thing. Just to go to a concert with a friend or my boyfriend. I need that.
Zachary?
Going to a concert and seeing my team. I haven't seen my team in 8 months, and I really miss them.
And what about you, Merdad?
Well, actually, I want to have a good journey because my wife and my father-in-law, her father, owns one of the biggest tour and travel agencies in Shiraz. And she went to, before our marriage, she went to travel 6 or 7 times per year. But with this coronavirus, she's stuck in home. And at least for saving my marriage, I have to go for a travel. Yeah.
That will be awesome. Yes. the frontiers. So Yannick and I live in the US, but we're from Canada, and frontiers are closed. So we're kind of missing our families a lot. So I think we're also looking forward to just getting out a bit. Yep. I get this. And also having the concert experience, and I don't know, just being surrounded by people will be kind of nice, right? So yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining today. It was really, really, really cool. And for opening, opening your home a little bit, and then letting us know more about you, letting us know, like, yeah, what you're passionate about, and just, yeah, what you like, what your lives are like. It's really super cool for us to know more about you, because without you guys, there's no, like, music wouldn't get anywhere. Like, if we compose and nobody listens to it, like, what's the point? And a lot of you are musicians, so I think you really get that. And so having you guys that write us some messages, and just take the time to leave us a comment sometimes, oh, like, that song's really cool or whatever, like, that makes our world turn. And it makes us so much more happy to work and compose stuff. And, like, we're there in front of our laptops or whatever, like, with the software, and we're composing, and we're thinking about you guys. So it makes a huge difference for us. So thank you so much. We really appreciate having you.
Well said. All right, so I will end the stream, and if you guys want to hold on just a second. And thanks to the viewers that are watching, not just the people that are on the call, but other people that are just watching out of interest. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.